Hello everybody, fellow collectors out there. I'm going to do my second part of the Sega Master System Collector's Guide, where I just go through the games really quick. For a really kind of unknown system or unappreciated system, it's a great system. And the prices are still pretty good, so you should get these games because it's just a matter of time before these, like just about every other system, just like Top Shelf here, this shelf 35 games, and I have played all these games just like on the top shelf here, not just for 10-15 minutes, but actually played them for a long time, past some of them, try to get as far as I can to really see what the game is all about. So some of these games I haven't played in about 20 years, so I'll try to be quick about this. First off, we have a card game, Ghost House. This is not a whole lot of fun. It's a very repetitive game, same thing over and over. You check coffins, so you finally get Dracula, you kill him, rinse, repeat, levels get harder and harder. Not the best game in the world, save your money on that unless it's nice and cheap. Then you got Ghouls and Ghosts. This is not a bad version, but having played the Genesis way before I ever played this, and I think the Genesis Ghouls and Ghosts is one of the greatest games of all time. This one's a step back a bit, is also was a late release, might be a little expensive. Just stick with the Genesis one. This one is slightly different, where you actually stop in shops and buy armor and stuff. Global Defense. This game is a lot of fun. You're actually a ship that, instead of just flying around shooting stuff, you actually control the aimer around and shoot stuff, and also dodge stuff with your ships. Kind of makes it a slightly different shooter. This is a fun game. Again, I can't price what the quote what the prices are going for because I've not collected for this system in over 10 years. So. Then you got Golden Axe. Again, might as well just stick with the Genesis version. This was a little bit later release, probably going to be a little pricier. You're not getting anything by getting this version at all. Then we have one of the most blatant Zelda clones of all time, Golden Axe Warrior. Now this game is a lot of fun. I actually put it in not that long ago, and I still have my save file from 20 years ago. I never passed this game because I got into it, but at that time I had the Genesis, and I think I got involved playing the Genesis games. I actually want to go back and play this. This is a lot of fun. If you like Zelda, there's no way you're not going to like this game. Probably a little pricey too. Golvellius Valley of Doom. Now this is not as much of a blatant ripoff of Zelda. It's more of inspired by Zelda. It changes things up enough to be different. I actually like this better than Golden Axe Warrior. Fantastic music, good challenge. This is one of my top games for the Sega Master System. Not sure what it's going for, but I think you're going to really like it, so pick it up. And right here in this section here, we have great baseball, basketball, football, golf, great ice hockey, soccer, great volleyball. They all say great. There's nothing really great about any of these games. Pass them by unless they're real cheap and you feel like you have to get them. The only one that was really worth anything was great golf, wasn't too bad, and great basketball wasn't too bad either. Really not the best sports games. Then we have a couple combo cards. Hang On an Astra Warrior, which I did last video. Kind of a generic vertical shooter, and Hang On is just a kind of a generic bike racing game. Pick it up if it's cheap. Other than that, you're not missing out on anything. And this is Hang On Safari Hunt. Safari Hunt's a very generic light gun game. Again, unless it's real cheap, you're not missing out on any fun. James Buster Douglas Boxing. This is one of the latest releases, and at the time when I bought this over 10 years ago, it was the most expensive game for the Master System. I don't know if that's still true. I think I picked this up for under $70. I have no idea what it's going for now. It's not a whole lot of fun. I think I pretty much thought it was an average boxing game. It's not worth the money that it's going for. You might as well avoid it unless you really love James Buster Douglas. Joe Montana Football. If you must play this or great football, play this. This is not bad for an 8-bit football game. Plus, seeing that it's a sports game, it's probably going to go pretty cheap. Oh, we'll get into one of my favorite games, Kensiden. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is a really cool platformer game where you can pick different levels to go through. Really good controls, really fun game, and a really cool ending. I don't have to spoil it for you, but I really like the ending. Worth your money. King's Quest, Quest for the Crown. This was a text-based adventure game. It's not that good, and you probably need a guide to help get you through it because it's things you got to do in a certain order. And I did use a guide just to play through it a few years back, and yeah, I don't know what it's going for, but it's not a whole lot of fun. So if it's cheap and you like those type of games, maybe it's for you. Kung Fu Kid, another kind of like Kung Fu for the NES clone. I thought it was a lot of fun. I don't know what it's going for. I think it was a common game, so it's worth your time and money. Shouldn't be that much. Lord of the Sword. This is a game that I want to like, but I usually don't like it that much. This is another adventure game where you have to do things in a certain order. Never passed it. You get 9 continues, which sound like enough, but you're going to die a lot. And once you use it for continues, you got to start all the way over from the beginning again. Don't know what it's going for. You may or may not like this one. So if it's cheap, go for it. And we have Marksman shooting and trap shooting, another light gun game. This is very not that good. Pick it up cheap. I didn't have a whole lot of fun with this one. This one, I need the 3D glasses for Maze Hunter 3D. This is not a bad game. You go through basically the mazes, find your way through, and it's got, with 3D glasses, got a good sense of depth that I liked. I don't know what the 3D games are going for, but if you got the glasses, there's only about 6 or 7 games that use them. You might as well pick it up. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Might as well just stick with the Genesis version. This one is toned down a bit. Unless you're a super Michael Jackson fan, or since his death, you need to get everything Michael Jackson. I don't know what this is going for now ever since he died. I got this before he died, so can't say what it's going for. But might as well just play the Genesis version. It's better. Miracle Warrior, Seal of the Dark Lord. For me, this is my very first kind of role-playing game I ever played way back in the day, and it's very basic. I don't know if you'd find much enjoyment in it anymore. I like it only because it was new at the time. I don't know how it holds up nowadays. Should come with a full map and everything. The graphics are really good. The music's good. It's a good 8-bit role-playing game. I just can't really recommend it. I like it. If it's cheap, you might want to give it a try. It's not bad. It's just very basic, even more basic than Dragon Warrior. Missile Defense 3D. This one I really like. You need 3D glasses and you need the light gun for this one. And it's really cool. You got to defend with the missiles coming. There's different stages. Uses really good 3D effect. Really good challenging. This one I recommend if you have the 3D glasses. Monopoly. Monopoly is Monopoly. The weird thing about this version, if I remember correctly, is when you land on a property, you have to buy it. Which is kind of weird. I think that's the only Monopoly game. But it's actually a fun game. I really enjoyed this game because, you know, it's Monopoly. Montezuma's Revenge, kind of a late release, another Parker Brothers one. I did not like this. This made me feel like I was playing Super Pitfall for the NES. It's better than Super Pitfall for the NES, but not much better. And that's, you know, save your money. It's a late release, probably costs quite a bit, and I don't think you're going to like it that much. My Hero. This, again, is like Urban Champion for the NES. It's very basic. Just move along, beat up people. It's a card game. If it's cheap, get it. If not, avoid. We have the Ninja. This is a, well, it's like a run and gun, overhead run and gun, except you're throwing ninja stars instead of shooting. This is a lot of fun. I like this game a lot. This was also a very common game. Should be cheap. Pick it up. And we have Outrun. I absolutely love this version for the Master System. It is a little choppy. The frame rate's not the best, but we're talking about 8-bit here from an absolute fantastic arcade game. They did a really good job in this one. You got all the different tracks to take. I like this game. It shouldn't cost you much, and it's still a lot of fun. I passed all 5 courses. Paperboy. This is actually not a bad translation of the arcade game, which I used to love to play in the arcade. Does the best it can without having the bicycle hand grip thing for steering. But this is better than the NES's version, and not bad. If you love Paperboy, this will satisfy you. Parlor games is just your regular Parlor games. You got your darts, you got your pool. The pool table physics were not that good. I didn't really enjoy it all that much. The dart game was okay. If it's cheap, I think I got this for $5 10 years ago. It's probably only worth $5 now. Penguin Land. This is a game that I want to like. It is one of the most frustrating puzzle games you will ever play. You have to get the egg to the bottom of the screen, and if you make one mistake, it's over with. Now, the first stage seems like this game's going to be easy. First stage is no problem, but already by the second stage, if you make one mistake in a couple areas, it's over with. I don't think I've ever got past the third stage in this game, and I think there's well over 30 stages, so you might like it. I know I've seen our people like this game. There's better puzzle games out there. And the last one on the shelf, but not the least, is Phantasy Star. I'm going to make this quick because this could take forever if I get into this game. One of the greatest games of all time. In fact, the greatest 8-bit role-playing game. Bring on any 8-bit role-playing game, this will blow it away in scope of size, music, graphics. You've probably heard enough about it. The original Phantasy Star. It's going to take you a lot of hours. If you like 8-bit role-playing games, you owe it to yourself to play this game. This is the best. This stands above everything else. Final Fantasy, Dragon Warrior, everything else that I've ever played 8-bit. This is the king of all 8-bit role-playing games. Last time I checked, it was still going for around $50. That was years ago. I don't know what it's going for now. I highly recommend this game. Buy it. Even if it's $100, buy it. So there's that. Next weekend, if I get time, I'll try to get this last shelf with these last few games here. Hope that helps you out. You know, a lot of these games are good. They're still a good price. I highly recommend Golvellius, Golden Axe Warrior, Phantasy Star, Missile Defense 3D. Stay away from the great sports games. Stay away from My Hero, Montezuma's Revenge, unless you absolutely have to have everything. And don't spend the money on Jane Buster Douglas boxing, whatever it's going for now. If you can't get it for less than $30, forget it. So hope that helps you out, and see you next video. Bye.